brakes! This is Morgan coming to you from Highland Cycles. Today we are going to be talking about bleeding brakes, specifically on this KTM 350, but this applies to everything that has hydraulic brakes. We've got a new member of the family today. Jaden will be filming and learning at the same time. He's a student here at in Montrose, and he's interning here. Part of the deal with the Montrose School District is that they make these kids actually have to go do a job for a little while to get credit, which is super awesome. So I'm going to hand the camera over to him, and hopefully he keeps it on me. I don't know. Completely up to him right now. So customer complaint is that the brakes on this thing are spongy, and yes, they definitely are. Kind of a classic problem with Brembo brakes. They either work really, really, really well, or they're full of air. I really can't explain why, but that is definitely a thing. So I'm going to show you guys how we bleed brakes here at Highland Cycles, and how I recommend that you do it because it works. It's a proven system. So first of all, you're going to need a syringe. I will put a link in the description where you can get these from Amazon. Also, you can go to your local medical supply place and buy them. Also, I think some ranch stores have them for like horse meds and things like that. Also need a tube. Clear tubes work so you can see bubbles. You can use a normal tube if you have to. So let's start by, down here, I'm gonna take the cap off. I'm gonna put that on there. Get it on there. And then, now here is a trick that I like, that I kind of figured out for myself years back when I didn't have someone to help me. Take a zip tie. Come around here on the fork, like that, and you're going to zip tie this thing up so that it's above the caliper, so that all the air goes up and it doesn't want to actually go back down in when you let off the master cylinder. So now I'm going to come up here, try to be careful, get those screws out. This one's kind of marred up a little bit. That's normal when people work on their own stuff. They're not very careful sometimes. So we will replace that with a good one. Alright. Now take this, put it in a clean spot. I like this Motul RBF 600. It's .4. These brakes, the Brembo brakes, will take .4 or .5.1. .5 is no good. 3 will work in a pinch. It won't mess anything up. If you put .5 in here, like that goes in a Harley, it will ruin the brake system. If not right away, pretty quickly. It's probably because it goes in Harleys. So this stuff is really good. It's got a high boiling point and doesn't tend to fade. So I like this the best. And the way I do this, I did a video earlier kind of showing this just real quickly, but I like to bleed down and then back up and then down and then back up quite a few times to try to get all the air out. And then when I'm done, I'll flush the system. A guy made a comment on a video, a good comment. He caught something and said, well, why do you go back up with it? Then you got old fluid up top. And that's true. But what I didn't show in the video is that after I'm done getting all the air out, I flush the whole system with good brake fluid. So we're going to start by making sure this is full, and because it does have some brake in it, I am gonna start up top and push down. It's not it's not completely out of brakes. So we got that. So now we're going to come over here, and actually, I'm going to take this hose back off for a second. I'm going to put the box end of the wrench over like that. So, there we go. Now, as I crack this, I'm going to push on the brake lever, and then I'm going to close it. Get set up like this. You can have your right hand up here, and then you can crack the bleeder down here. And then what you want to do is you want to pump, and hold it tight, and then crack the bleeder, and then close it. And pump, crack the bleeder, close it. Pump, crack the bleeder, close it. And we're going to keep doing that until we get a fair amount of fluid down in, or up into the syringe, so that we can then push back up. It's already feeling a little bit better. One of the keys, guys, is when you're doing this, is keep an eye on the fluid level in the master cylinder. It's really easy to get into a rhythm and go, and then draw all the fluid down and suck air into the system again. So just, you know, keep an eye on that. Don't let it get too low. So we got a little bit. Top her back off. I'm going to bleed this amount through, and then we're going to push some up from the bottom. So now we've bled this amount of fluid from the top down. Okay. Now we're going to take it, and this is the key to getting all the air out, because sometimes air will hide these high points of the brake line, or they'll hide in parts of the master cylinder, or hide in parts of the caliper. And sometimes you really need to force that thing through. And you can't do it always with the master cylinder. So you want to make sure you have free play on the brake lever over here, that it's not pushing on the master cylinder at all. Make sure you have a little bit of free play there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our hands on here, and you can leave it zip tied to it. We're going to open the bleeder and push through. And while you're doing that, we're going to watch the master cylinder. We're going to push it through and see it's coming up. And you don't want to push too hard or you'll blow the line off of the caliper. And you're going to look to see if you can see any bubbles. And there's a little bit of bubbles. I can see some little micro ones. And I think we're doing pretty good. And it's okay if it overflows, because we're at a shop and it's going to make a mess anyway. I'm going to open the bleeder just a little bit more so it can go a little faster. There we go. So yeah, it makes a mess. There's now brake fluid everywhere, but you know that you're getting plenty of it through there. All right, now we're going to close it down there. And now this fluid is all really clean, because we've actually been working on these brakes for a little bit, and I just wanted to shoot a video for you guys. So the fluid's pretty clean. But now, if we were doing this like right from the start and they had old fluid in it, what we do is you're going to bleed this fluid through. And what you can do is use your syringe as a catch can, right? So what you're going to do is just do what we've already done, and we're going to force fluid through it, and you just keep adding, and then you take the fluid that ends up in the syringe and throw it away, dispose of it however you do. We use waste oil stuff that we put it in. But this system works really well when you got a bubble hiding somewhere, either in a caliper or a master cylinder or in the line, something like that. And sometimes you have to end up going down and up and down and up and down and up a whole bunch of times before you get all the air out. This one, like I said, worked out pretty good. Now I'm going to get this level right, but like I said, normally now you would just flush all this fluid with brand new fluid and button it all back up. You'd be good to go. So one of the things when you're putting this all back together, you don't want this master cylinder to be just right to the tippy top full, partially because you make an even bigger mess. The other thing is it needs a little bit of room to expand as the brakes get hot. If you fill this to the top and you've got everything bled right and all that stuff, if you go get these brakes really hot, they'll actually sometimes bind up and cause way worse problems, either massive crash as the brake locks up, or overheating the thing and getting air in it, boiling the brake fluid or anything like that. So you want to leave a little bit of a gap in there, put this on, and then when you're going on, just go easy. You don't have to be Gorilla Guy with these bolts. You can just tighten them down, but you don't have to just go nuts. There we go. Well, check it. Feels good. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. If we've earned your subscription, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Also, a little notification bell. Make sure you click that thing so you know when we do new videos. We got a ton of it coming. Stay tuned here real soon. We're going racing in Oklahoma, and that's going to be some awesome content coming. I got 4 different races to race in one weekend, so we're going to do a ton of riding and things like that. My kids are racing. It's super awesome. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Make sure you get out, spread the gospel of two wheels, and no matter what happens, find some time to ride your dirt bikes!